Pisces, November 2025 is a cosmic wake-up call. With Mercury retrograde shaking your career path and a full moon exposing emotional truths, the universe is pulling you into deep transformation. Spiritual clarity, intuitive breakthroughs, and powerful shifts await. This month will challenge your soul and elevate your purpose like never before. Chapter 1, November 1st to 10th. Expansion and recognition. Pisces, as November opens, the celestial currents begin to stir your higher mind and professional ambitions. The first 10 days of the month are infused with expansive Scorpio energy, activating your ninth house of wisdom, long-distance vision, and spiritual philosophy. This is a time when your inner compass recalibrates, pointing you toward a broader horizon, one that demands both courage and clarity. The Sun in Scorpio continues its transit until November 10th, forming a harmonious trine to Pisces decan 1 through November 2nd. This alignment enhances your ability to focus, strategize, and connect with deeper truths. Scorpio's intensity blends seamlessly with your intuitive nature, allowing you to access insights that are both profound and practical. The ninth house governs your belief systems, higher education, and long-term planning. With the Sun illuminating this sector, you're being called to refine your worldview and elevate your intellectual pursuits. This is not about casual curiosity, it's about transformational learning. The lingering influence of the October 21st new moon in Scorpio, also trine your decan, continues to ripple through your consciousness until November 2nd. This lunar energy supports emotional balance and inner renewal. It's a subtle but powerful undercurrent that helps you release outdated perspectives and embrace a more empowered sense of direction. The new moon's influence here is like a spiritual reset, preparing you to receive the insights that November will deliver. Mercury in Scorpio begins its pre-retrograde shadow phase during this period, subtly introducing themes that will intensify later in the month. For Pisces, this affects your ninth house, prompting reflection on your intellectual frameworks, spiritual beliefs, and long-term goals. You may begin to notice recurring thoughts, subtle shifts in communication, or a growing desire to revisit past teachings. Mercury's shadow phase is not disruptive, it's preparatory. It lays the groundwork for the deeper mental excavation that will unfold during the retrograde. Saturn in Pisces, now direct, continues its slow and steady transit through your sign. This is a defining influence for Pisces in 2025. Saturn's presence in your first house is a call to maturity, discipline, and self-mastery. It's reshaping your identity from the inside out, urging you to take responsibility for your path and to build structures that support your long-term growth. During this first decade of November, Saturn's influence is especially potent. You may feel a heightened awareness of your boundaries, your commitments, and your personal authority. This is not a time to drift, it's a time to anchor. Neptune in Pisces, still retrograde, continues to deepen your spiritual sensitivity and intuitive clarity. Neptune is your modern ruler, and its retrograde motion in your sign is a call to inner purification. You're being asked to dissolve illusions, release escapist tendencies, and reconnect with your soul's truth. This transit enhances your ability to perceive subtle energies, interpret symbolic language, and access higher guidance. But it also demands discernment. Not everything that glitters is gold, especially in the realm of dreams. Use this time to refine your spiritual practice and to clarify your inner vision. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini continues to influence your fourth house of home, roots, and emotional foundations. Jupiter's expansive energy turns inward during retrograde, prompting a reassessment of your inner stability. You may feel drawn to revisit family dynamics, restructure your living environment, or explore the emotional patterns that shape your sense of security. This is not a time for external expansion. It's a time for internal alignment. Jupiter retrograde here invites you to elevate your emotional intelligence and to create a foundation that supports your evolving identity. Uranus in Taurus, still trine your decan, continues to support innovation and liberation in your third house of communication, learning, and mental agility. Though not forming exact aspects during this period, its influence is steady and supportive. You may feel inspired to explore new ideas, adopt unconventional perspectives, or break free from limiting thought patterns. Uranus here is not chaotic, it's catalytic. It encourages you to think differently, speak boldly, and engage with information that challenges your assumptions. Pluto direct in Capricorn continues to transform your 11th house of friendships, networks, and aspirations. This long-term transit is reshaping your social landscape, urging you to release toxic alliances and embrace authentic connections. During this first decade of November, Pluto's influence may manifest as a growing awareness of power dynamics within groups, a desire to redefine your role in collective movements, or a need to align your goals with your deeper values. Pluto is not gentle, but it is precise. It strips away what's false and reveals what's real. Venus in Sagittarius continues to transit your 10th house of career and public image. This placement enhances your charm, diplomacy, and creative expression in professional settings. Venus in Sagittarius is adventurous, optimistic, and truth-seeking. For Pisces, this transit supports harmonious collaborations, attracts mentors, and helps you refine your public persona. It's a time to elevate your professional aesthetics, to align your career with your values, and to invest in relationships that support your long-term ambitions. As the first decade of November comes to a close, the energy begins to shift. The Sun prepares to enter Sagittarius, Mercury inches closer to retrograde, and Venus continues to soften your public interactions. You'll feel a growing sense of anticipation, a call to reflect, recalibrate, and prepare for the deeper emotional work ahead. In summary, November 1st to 10th is a period of expansion and recognition for Pisces. The planetary transits activate your higher mind, professional ambitions, and spiritual clarity. You're being guided to refine your beliefs, elevate your goals, and anchor your identity in truth. Trust the process. The universe is aligning you with your next evolution. Chapter 2, November 11th to 20th. Emotional healing and strategic review. Pisces, the second phase of November 2025 draws you into a quieter, more introspective current. The planetary shifts during this period are not loud, but they are profound. This is a time of emotional recalibration, strategic review, and spiritual refinement. The cosmos is asking you to pause, reflect, and realign your inner compass before the next wave of expansion arrives. The Sun enters Sagittarius on November 11th, activating your 10th house of career, reputation, and public life. Sagittarius energy is bold, visionary, and future-focused. For Pisces, this solar shift brings your ambitions into sharper focus. You may feel a renewed desire to pursue leadership roles, redefine your professional identity, or align your public image with your evolving values. The 10th house is where you're seen, and with the Sun here, you're being asked to step into visibility with purpose. But this visibility comes with a caveat. Mercury turns retrograde in Sagittarius on November 14th, also in your 10th house. This retrograde is not a setback, it's a strategic pause. Mercury retrograde here prompts a deep review of your career path, public messaging, and long-term goals. You may encounter delays in professional projects, miscommunications with authority figures, or a need to revisit past decisions. But these disruptions are not random, they're revelations. Mercury retrograde is a cosmic audit, helping you refine your strategy and clarify your direction. During this retrograde, you may find yourself questioning your ambitions. Are they truly aligned with your soul's purpose? Are you chasing recognition or fulfillment? Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius challenges you to examine the philosophical foundations of your goals. It's not enough to be successful. You must understand why you're striving. This is a time to revise your plans, reconnect with your mission, and prepare for a more authentic trajectory. Venus continues its transit through Sagittarius until November 26th, softening the retrograde tension and enhancing your charm in professional settings. Venus in the 10th house supports harmonious collaborations, attracts mentors, and helps you navigate workplace dynamics with grace. This is a favorable time to refine your public persona, invest in your career aesthetics, and cultivate relationships that support your long-term vision. Saturn in Pisces, now direct, continues to reshape your identity from the inside out. Saturn's influence in your first house is a call to maturity, discipline, and self-respect. During this second decade of November, Saturn's presence becomes more internalized. You may feel a growing need to define your boundaries, clarify your commitments, and take ownership of your path. This is not a time for external validation. It's a time for internal authority. Saturn is helping you build a foundation that can withstand the tests of time. Neptune retrograde in Pisces continues to dissolve illusions and heighten your spiritual awareness. Neptune is your modern ruler, and its retrograde motion in your sign is a sacred invitation to reconnect with your essence. You're being asked to release fantasies, confront emotional fog, and embrace clarity. This transit enhances your intuition, but it also demands discernment. Not every vision is truth, not every feeling is fact. Use this time to deepen your spiritual practice, refine your inner guidance, and trust your soul's wisdom. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini continues to influence your fourth house of home, roots, and emotional foundations. Jupiter's expansive energy turns inward during retrograde, prompting a reassessment of your inner stability. You may feel drawn to revisit family dynamics, restructure your living environment, or explore the emotional patterns that shape your sense of security. This is a time to elevate your emotional intelligence and to create a foundation that supports your evolving identity. Pluto direct in Capricorn continues its transformation of your 11th house of friendships, networks, and aspirations. Pluto's influence here is subtle but powerful. You may begin to see through the facades in your social circles, recognize power dynamics within groups, or feel a growing urge to align your goals with your deeper values. Pluto is not interested in surface-level connections. It demands authenticity. Use this time to release toxic alliances, reclaim your voice within collectives, and redefine your role in collaborative movements. Uranus in Taurus, still trine your decan, continues to support innovation and liberation in your third house of communication and learning. Though not forming exact aspects during this period, its influence is steady and supportive. You may feel inspired to explore new ideas, adopt unconventional perspectives, or break free from limiting thought patterns. Uranus here encourages you to think differently, speak boldly, and engage with information that challenges your assumptions. The North Node in Aries remains in your second house of values and resources, guiding you toward financial independence and self-worth. This karmic point urges you to clarify your priorities, build sustainable income streams, and trust your ability to create abundance. During this second decade of November, you may feel a growing awareness of what truly matters, what you're willing to invest in, and what you're ready to release. As the days progress, the energy begins to deepen. Mercury retrograde intensifies, the Sun gains momentum in Sagittarius, and Venus continues to soften your public interactions. You may feel a growing sense of emotional clarity, a call to integrate the insights you've gathered and prepare for the breakthroughs ahead. In summary, November 11th to 20th is a period of emotional healing and strategic review for Pisces. The planetary transits urge you to slow down, look inward, and confront the patterns that hold you back. Mercury retrograde demands mental recalibration, while Saturn and Neptune guide you towards spiritual clarity. This is your moment to realign your goals, deepen your emotional intelligence, and prepare for the next chapter with wisdom and authenticity. Chapter 3, November 21st to 30th, Spiritual Clarity and Inner Renewal. Pisces, the final stretch of November 2025 is where the veil lifts. After weeks of reflection and recalibration, the cosmos now delivers clarity, closure, and the momentum to move forward. This is a period of spiritual refinement, emotional release, and inner renewal. The planetary alignments during these days are designed to help you integrate the lessons of the month and prepare for the next phase of your evolution. The full moon in Gemini on November 23rd is the centerpiece of this chapter. It illuminates your fourth house of home, emotional foundations, and ancestral roots. Full moons bring culmination, revelation, and emotional clarity. In Gemini, this lunation activates your mental and emotional duality, your need for both logic and intuition. For Pisces, this full moon may expose hidden tensions within your domestic life, unresolved feelings from the past, or a need to redefine what home truly means. This full moon is not gentle, it's illuminating. You may experience sudden insights about your emotional patterns, family dynamics, or inner stability. Gemini's influence adds a layer of intellectual curiosity, prompting you to analyze your feelings rather than drown in them. This is a time to observe your emotional responses, identify recurring themes, and release what no longer supports your growth. The fourth house governs your roots, and this lunation invites you to prune them with precision. Mercury retrograde continues its journey through Sagittarius, still influencing your 10th house of career and public image. The retrograde deepens during this period, pulling you further into strategic review. You may find yourself revisiting old professional goals, rethinking your public messaging, or encountering delays in career-related matters. But these disruptions are not setbacks, they're recalibrations. Mercury retrograde is helping you refine your ambitions, clarify your reputation, and ensure that your external path aligns with your internal truth. As Mercury retraces its steps, you may uncover insights that were previously obscured. Conversations from the past may resurface, offering closure or new understanding. Ideas that once seemed impractical may now feel viable. This is a time to listen deeply, reflect honestly, and trust the wisdom of hindsight. The answers you seek are not ahead of you, they're already within you, waiting to be recognized. Venus enters Capricorn on November 26th, shifting your focus to the 11th house of friendships, networks, and long-term aspirations. This transit supports meaningful connections, collaborative projects, and goal-oriented relationships. Venus in Capricorn is grounded, strategic, and loyal. For Pisces, this placement encourages you to align with people who share your values, support your vision, and help you build toward your future. This is a time to refine your social circle, invest in authentic alliances, and release superficial connections. Venus in Capricorn helps you see the value in long-term commitment, shared purpose, and mutual respect. You may feel drawn to work with others on meaningful projects, join communities that reflect your ideals, or deepen bonds with those who truly understand your path. This is not about popularity, it's about purpose. Pluto direct in Capricorn continues its transformation of your 11th house, intensifying the themes introduced by Venus. Pluto's influence here urges you to confront power dynamics within groups, release toxic affiliations, and reclaim your voice in collective settings. You may experience shifts in your social identity, a desire to lead with authenticity, or a need to redefine your role in collaborative movements. Pluto is not interested in surface-level change. It demands depth. Use this time to purge what's false and embrace what's real. Saturn in Pisces, still direct, continues to anchor your identity and reshape your self-concept. Saturn's influence in your first house is a call to responsibility, integrity, and self-mastery. During this final decade of November, Saturn helps you integrate the lessons of the month, solidify your boundaries, and prepare for the next phase of your journey. You may feel a growing sense of clarity about who you are, what you stand for, and what you're building. This is not a time for doubt, it's a time for definition. Neptune retrograde in Pisces continues to dissolve illusions and heighten your spiritual awareness. Neptune's influence in your sign is subtle but profound. You may experience vivid dreams, intuitive downloads, or moments of emotional transcendence. But Neptune retrograde also demands discernment. You're being asked to separate fantasy from truth, illusion from insight. Use this time to deepen your spiritual practice, refine your inner guidance, and trust your soul's wisdom. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini continues to influence your 4th house, reinforcing the full moon's themes. Jupiter retrograde here invites you to revisit your emotional foundations, reassess your relationship with home, and explore new ways of nurturing yourself. This is a time to elevate your emotional intelligence, redefine your sense of security, and create a foundation that supports your evolving identity. Uranus in Taurus, still trine your decan, continues to support innovation and liberation in your 3rd house of communication and learning. Though not forming exact aspects during this period, its influence is steady and supportive. You may feel inspired to explore new ideas, adopt unconventional perspectives, or break free from limiting thought patterns. Uranus here encourages you to think differently, speak boldly, and engage with information that challenges your assumptions. The North Node in Aries remains in your 2nd house of values and resources, guiding you toward financial independence and self-worth. This karmic point urges you to clarify your priorities, build sustainable income streams, and trust your ability to create abundance. During this final decade of November, you may feel a growing awareness of what truly matters, what you're willing to invest in, and what you're ready to release. As November draws to a close, the energy begins to stabilize. The full moon's revelations settle, Mercury's retrograde insights deepen, and Venus's quiet grace begins to soothe. You're emerging from a month of profound inner work, strategic reflection, and emotional awakening. Now you're ready to move forward, not with noise but with clarity. In summary, November 21st to 30th is a period of spiritual clarity and inner renewal for Pisces. The full moon reveals your emotional truth, Mercury retrograde refines your ambitions, and Venus and Pluto guide you toward authentic connection. This is your moment to integrate, to express, and to prepare for the next chapter with wisdom and authenticity. Pisces, November 2025 has peeled back the layers of illusion and revealed your core truth. With emotional clarity, spiritual insight, and renewed purpose, you're stepping into the next chapter fully aligned. The universe didn't just guide you, it transformed you. Trust your evolution, honor your growth, and let your soul lead forward.